Hello.
Like we don't have enough problems.
What was that? Who's there? Anybody there? Get some! Get some! Anybody there? Get some!
Do me a favor. Make sure they bury me
Takes care of that.
in a nice dress.
Hey. What do you want? I can tell you they're a bunch of big dumb jerks with no appreciation for art. I mean, can you believe their initiation? Everybody has to do it. Well, everybody who wants to be a con anyways. They toss you into the ring there and beat on you for a solid minute. If you survive, you're in. Sure, maybe not if you're some hulking reprobate like Regis or big to the gills like Jack. I've tried 5 times and still haven't made it. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I can find my true calling, someplace they'll appreciate my poetry. Someplace like the old Mormon fort, maybe. Do you think the followers of the apocalypse would take me? I remember all those books they brought us when they visited our tribe. You'd do that? Thanks! I mean, I'd go myself, but what if they said no? The cons wouldn't take me back, and then I'd have nobody. Nothing really. Just trying to psych myself up to try my initiation. Again. Oh, you heard that, huh? Okay, so, yeah, I was writing poetry. I know, it's not a very great con-like thing to do. The followers of the apocalypse came to our camp when I was a kid, and they brought a bunch of old books. I used to read pre-war poetry for hours. Have you seen this tribe? If it's not an epic drunken ballad of cracking skulls and hearing lamentations, they think it's a waste of time. Yeah, well, I guess maybe I'm not. But what else can I do? Sure, okay. You would? Really? Okay, well then, here goes. This is a poem I wrote about the dark loneliness that suffuses my soul. Rain clouds wrap my heart in sorrow black as silk. My empty scream does not echo. Even though we're in a canyon, my soul aches. But not as much as my limbs, because I've been beaten severely. That's it. What do you think? You liked it? Wow, you're the first one who ever did. Bye. Your friend's cute. Is she single? Huh?
Like we don't have enough problems.
I ought to bleed you. Hey. Yeah?
Whoa, new guy. Do. We don't, like, do anything. We make the magic happen. We make the happy stuff. What do you need? Jet, Psycho, a little Med-X to ease the pain? Nah, man, more like drug suppliers. Yeah. Other folks sell them. Diane's mostly in charge of that. Guess I just had a natural talent for it. When I was a kid, these cats called the followers of the apocalypse came to our camp. They knew all kinds of kooky, scientistical stuff, so I ate up all the chemistry they could teach. Diane had to head for business, so we teamed up. Diane's my girl, man. We've been taking care of each other our whole lives, ever since our folks died. Now we keep the cons and caps together. They're family, you dig? They've always looked out for us, made sure we had something to eat and a place to crash. Papa may look like a big angry bear, but he's a softy at heart. Regis is cool, scary, but cool. The rest are all pretty groovy, even little Jerry. The other dudes call him Jerry the Punk. That's kinda harsh, though. I think he's just a sensitive soul that needs some love. He's usually down around the proving ground if you want to say yo. What do you mean, helpful? My stuff already makes people feel groo-delicious. I don't know what you've been smoking, but where can I get some? Diane handles most of the transactional elements of this little enterprise, but I'm always in the market for new recipes if you've got the spark. Right on. What have you got? Cool. Maybe later. Oh, you're buying. Cool.
You're not one of my regulars. What do you want? We keep the Great Khans from falling apart, essentially. Jack manufactures the chems. I organize the runners and the shipments. We're supplying things people want in exchange for things our tribe needs. Don't judge us. We make regular shipments to a lot of settlements around the Mojave. A lot of our business comes from the fiends lately. Personally, I think they're kinda creepy, but Papa likes the fact they get all hopped up on Psycho and harass the NCR patrols. Like what? I'll spare you the history lesson. Talk to Papa Khan if you want to hear that story. Things have been rough for a while now. Even with Jack working all the time and my runners making deliveries daily, we're barely getting by. Maybe this alliance with Caesar will help, but I don't know. Red Rock Canyon isn't exactly the most hospitable place. There's no food, barely any water, and nothing anybody wants. We used to send patrols out to acquire supplies, but ever since Bitter Springs, there just aren't enough of us left. Sure, what do you want to know? Helpful? What, like bathtub stim packs? What's the point of that? That's touching, but it would take away from our bottom line. I'll have to pass. I don't have any compelling reason to trust you, given your behavior. So no, I'm not really inclined to give you a job. Jack handles the small-time purchases. You should talk to him unless you're looking for a major shipment. Anything else? Bye.
Why do you have to harsh my mellow? Just be cool, you dig? Right on, let's have it. Grootalicious. That ought to rake in the caps. What do I owe you? Here's a little tink-tink to weight your pockets. Right on. What have you got? Right on. Let's have it. Grootalicious. That ought to rake in the caps. What do I owe you? Here's a little tink-tink to weight your pockets. Right on. What have you got? Right on. Let's have it. Grootalicious. That ought to rake in the caps. What do I owe you? Here's a little tink-tink to weight your pockets. Huh? Look, man, me and Diane, we don't dig on that politics stuff, savvy? We just make the product and make it get to a good home. Sure, Caesar's a drag, but as long as we've got each other, we don't care who the top dogs roll with. What do you...
Like we don't have enough problems. Make it quick. I don't want to be seen with you. Helpful? You've got a point. Selling meds to the locals could be a pretty nice side gig. All right, I'll tell Jack to give it a try. Yeah, you made a pretty good argument. We'll keep it small for now, but if it turns a profit, we might expand. Catch you later.
What?
I haven't seen you before. What brings you to the Great Khans? That's a complicated question. They've done horrible things to our people, to be sure, and I've gladly killed many of their soldiers in battle. But I can't bring myself to hate them the way Papa does. Things would damn sure be better for us if they were in charge than Caesar. I suppose if asked, I would. But that's a moot point, because Papa's in charge now, and he's not going anywhere. Papa is one of the best leaders the Khans have ever had. He's kept us together through all of our hardships, ever since we left California. Bitter Springs changed him, though. He started to really hate the NCR after the massacre. and sometimes I worry that's poisoned his mind. Nothing. Forget about it. I shouldn't be talking about this with an outsider. I really don't like to talk about it. Let's just say it was a tragedy, and the NCR is to blame, and we'll leave it at that. Sure. Go ahead. Name's Regis. I'm Papa Khan's advisor and right-hand man. I'm also the chief enforcer of the tribe's laws, so watch your behavior. Until next time. Your friend's cute. Is she single?
Not now, I'm busy.
Greetings in the name of Kaiser. My name is Courier. Glorious Caesar has sent me as an emissary to the Great Khans as a token of our alliance. In exchange for Great Caesar's promise of all the lands west of New Vegas, the Khans have agreed to fight alongside the Legion when the time comes. I am one of the Frumentari. It is my duty to scout the waste in Caesar's name and make contact with any tribes that might serve a useful purpose. You might say I'm somewhere between a scout and an ambassador. I'm assigned here as part of the alliance between the Legion and the Great Khans. Though they have been cruelly oppressed by the NCR, the Khans remain great warriors. The Legion is honored to have such allies in battle. Speak then. Yes, goodbye. What more do you want? Yes, goodbye.
Like we don't have enough problems.
Like we don't have enough problems.